The people I'm with here are my brothers and sisters. We are all Biafrans of one mind. The lawyers are here, some of them. The others have dispatched to various locations where we are going to meet later. Tomorrow we are going to the DSS to meet with the Onyendu. Today, what happened, for those of you, and one Onyendu, we are Prince Fine Boy, I was in America, Dr. Sylvester here, and Dr. Chukwuemeka of the American military veterans of Igbo descent. I be grateful for the solidarity they came to show their fellow Biafrans, their fellow Igbos, and to Onyendu and the legal team and Onyendu. They flew all the way from America to show solidarity. We are very, very grateful, and this thing goes in and Mary at the end of the day. So what happened in court today, as a way of recapping and informing those who didn't come to court, was very simple. Finally, the government is getting the so-called trial that it has always desired as of late. It didn't desire this trial for the past 10 years, but for the past 6-7 months, the government has been intent on having a trial. Well, the trial has commenced today, and we have seen, those of us in court, that the case rings very hollow. The prosecution witness was examined on direct examination by the prosecutor, and he made an application, meaning the prosecutor made an application before then for the witness to be masked or to be screened away from the bird's eye view of the general public. The only person that could behold him from our own side of the aisle was Mazi, Nnamdi, because the law required that. So he was testified from behind the stage. And you know, when people testify behind the stage, you know what happens. Official so he has given his direct examination, and the matter was adjourned to 2nd May for continuation of trial. So what is going to happen on 2nd May is very specific and simple. We are going to subject that witness to cross-examination. We are going to ask him to explain certain things. So his own answers to the questions posed to him today will not be taken as true unless and until we have finished cross-examining him on 2nd May. So we are very hopeful that in the end our victory is assured. We shall prevail, and we shall be able to show through this trial they are having, or they started having today, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not commit any offense known to law. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
We're very comfortable, but first of all, we thank God for today. We thank God that the matter has eventually kicked off without rancor. You know, you needed to have been in court to observe the proceedings. All the parties cooperated, and PW1 testified. PW1 is Mr. AAA, as he was designated. He investigated the matter 10 years ago, and today he came and gave his evidence and tendered documents. The matter is very simple. The state has a case against our client, and we are defending him. And for the first time, the matter has been opened, and we have heard what the evidence is. On Friday, we are coming back to cross-examine him. But in the main, the matter has commenced on a good note, very sound note, very civilized trial. And we hope by the grace of God we'll continue on this note and get to the end.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to all Biafrans, pending where you are watching and hearing me from this very wonderful morning. Yes, my name still remains Rose, and I thank you all for supporting me on this program. Every single day I come here to educate our people and to make sure that our people gets the news the way it is. And I don't change anything the way the news comes. I say the way it is, because Biafrans almost 200 million Biafrans are listening all over the world. So today is 29th day of April 2025. Today is the day that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, will be appearing in court. I want to tell you that Justice Omotosho is not a credible man. He's not a man to be trusted. And secondly, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer in any court of Nigeria. Number one is this. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya with a British passport and was extraordinary rendition back to Nigeria to face trial. But realistically, that's act of kidnap that Nigerian government committed has made Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not to be able to stand any trial anywhere in Nigerian court. Why? Because Nigeria committed a crime, an international crime, by going to another country to forcefully remove a man that is carrying another country passport. That is a big crime. And Nigeria is signatory to the UN Charter on this arbitrary, is it arbitrary detention or extraordinary rendition? So Nigeria is a signatory to the UN. So Biafrans, I want you to understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never get justice in Nigeria. Never, not on this planet Earth. You see this drug lord, this gangster, this terrible man called Tinubu can never release Nnamdi Kanu. They can never, the Northerners will never release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I would like to say it the way Mazi Simon Ekpa said it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out in a heroic way, in a heroic manner. That is how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to be coming out. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never be released. He can never, not on this planet Earth. And that is why they are fighting to make sure that Biafra does not come. And you see us, we that is in abroad, we make sure that people hears our voice, that Biafra is fully restored by every means necessary. They can't talk us down. They can't drag us down. They can't intimidate. Nobody on this planet Earth can intimidate us. Nobody, as long as we are on our rights, doing the needful for our citizens to understand that what Nigerian government is doing is just shenanigans. They can't try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They can never try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What they are doing is out of terrorism. Trying him is act of terrorism. And that is the simple truth. That is what the laws of every country that signed this UN Memorandum of Understanding stands for. I'm telling you, that is what they should respect, the treaty. And they can't try Nnamdi Kanu. They have committed out of terrorism if they are trying him. That is what their law says. Self-determination is not a crime. Self-preservation is not a crime. Freedom of movement, freedom of speech is not a crime. Anywhere in the world, if it is, then Nnamdi Kanu will be going to jail. Nnamdi Kanu can never stand trial. No court in Nigeria has the audacity. So if you are waiting to hear a different thing from what Binta Nyako has been doing, then you must be joking. This judge is weakest guy. This judge has influenced so many, case in Nigeria that is politically motivated. This Justice Omotosho, I must tell you, he's not a credible man. Justice Omotosho is not a credible judge. Justice Omotosho is a criminal. So how can a criminal stand and, asking Mazi Nnamdi Kanu questions? You committed out of terrorism. So you should return back Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Kenya, where he is on a visit. And then Kenyan courts will now try him and see if he has actually committed any crime. If he has, then the Kenya will return him back to United Kingdom. That is how it is. But Biafrans, I want to tell us this, that the people helping this criminal drug lord, Tinubu, to propel this evil agenda on Biafrans is the United Kingdom. Because I see no reason why United Kingdom will leave their own citizens to be in this kind of pains for over 5 years, and they are not saying anything, and they are not doing anything about it. The only thing that they are going after is people that are liberating themselves, like Captain Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso today. That is what they do. This is what they do. They don't want Africa to grow, and yet they call Africa the most poor nation in the world. And it's so disheartening. It's so disheartening. If the United Kingdom, it is only the United Kingdom court that has rights to try Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said to be that he committed that crime in the UK, not in Nigeria. So Nigeria is just, they are just a kidnapper. The world knows them for who they are. They know them already. You have a president who does not respect the rule of law. You have a man that calls himself the president of a nation who does not respect human life. You can the unaliving in Katsina, Kaduna, Yola, Gombe, all this Enugu, Anambra, Imo, Benue State. In all these places, your president did not come out to say a word. Make a press briefing about all the unaliving of his own citizens. That's to tell you they were never coming to, rule over you. They were never coming to, better your lives. They are there for their selfish gain and for their selfish interest. And that is what they are here. That is what they are here to do. Honestly, realistically, that's what they are here to do. And Biafrans, I want you to understand that our leader can never get justice. Only the coming out of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, will make Nigeria to stand on their feet and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We have passed the Rubicon of negotiation. We are not here to negotiate with anyone. We are here to take rightfully what belongs to us. Our people used to say before, oji nwata ihe nwata wenye ake na aka lewi ulo obodatia. But this time around, we'll cut that hand off and collect what rightfully belongs to us. We're not interested in any negotiation again. So on this note, I want to tell Biafrans to be resolute. We are winning this case. And again, I want to use this opportunity this morning to say as well, today is our Remembrance Day of our independence. Today is our independence, 29th. On the 29th of November 2024, that was when we redeclared our country. So, happy independence, Biafrans. May God bless you guys. And I want to say this again. Nobody, no military man in Biafra land has any rights, as long as you are wearing that khaki from Nigeria, to intimidate any Biafran, including Christopher Musa, has no right to make a word or speak a word against Biafrans, because internationally we are being recognized. We have got all the documents that makes us to become a nation. So Christopher Musa, you have no rights to intimidate our people. No police, no soldier, no air force, no land force, any security outfit in Nigeria has the right, temerity, to intimidate our people anymore. But fear the return of Mazi Simon Ekpa. No matter what happened on this earth, Mazi Simon Ekpa can never be extradited. Not on this planet Earth. They can never go. In fact, go and bribe all the world. Mazi Simon Ekpa can never be extradited to Nigeria. So stop dreaming. If you think that something can be done about it, you can stop dreaming about that. Nothing. It can never happen in this country. Never. Not on this earth. The world is watching. This fight within Biafra, Finland, and the Nigerian state, we'll see how it's going to end. But I know it's going to end in our favor, because Mazi Simon Ekpa has not committed any crime. So, Biafran, on this note, I want you to understand that Nnamdi Kanu will never get justice. Thank you so much, Biafrans, and may God bless you all.
All right, a very quick one before we round up. We've already gotten the information on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's court hearing. The first video is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's special counsel, in the person of Aloy Jimako, the only person Mazi Nnamdi Kanu trusts, when it comes to his legal team, apart from the senior advocates. Yeah. Now, I want you to understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did the undoable today in court. He he had about over, I think, 6 senior advocates of Nigeria who defended him today. Now, I want you to understand that what this thing means is that there is unity and bond within ourselves, Biafrans. Now, Biafrans have taken this as, the biggest challenge of their life. When I mean biggest challenge, they've taken it that far. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's challenge is the biggest challenge of our life. And that is why so many Biafrans, all over the world are coming in to show their support for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Senior advocate from the United States coming down to Nigeria to defend Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So many senior advocates and so many other lawyers. We've seen the Azis, of the Igbo origins coming out to defend Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to stand by him. At least, if there is something that we should actually have hopes on, I won't lose hope in as much as the zoo system is corrupt. But I'm not going to lose hope that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out. He will come out. He's going to come out one way or the other. Go and mark my word. So I'm not going to lose hope entirely. We know the system is corrupt. We know the system is not, meant to favor Biafrans. We know the system, the corrupt system, is not meant to favor Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But we don't need to give up. We don't need to give up. We have to be optimistic. We have to be prayerful, because in all these, no matter how we say the zoo is this, the zoo is that, one thing still remains. And that is the fact that no matter how you say it, no matter how you want to say it, there is Chukwu Okike Abiama who is in charge of everything. He can do the undoable, and he can even give the freedom to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu one way or the other. It's going to come. The zoo will continue to expose themselves to the level that there will be nothing to expose anymore. So we are optimistic. Forget about the witnesses they brought in. Witnesses that covered themselves like masks. They were even looking like terrorists. You didn't see the witness. They brought in witnesses that were looking like terrorists in court. People that, who came out and say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's words incited violence in Biafra. Which words incited violence? How did Mazi Nnamdi Kanu incite violence? The Eastern Security Network, as we all know, was formed for one reason. Whatever you think the reason is, that is on you. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu formed the Eastern Security Network for only one reason: to defend Biafran territory against invading marauders and Fulani herdsmen. The same problem that we are having today. So they don't have anything against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is one thing I am sure of. So it's not about saying it and repeating it again. They brought witnesses. They are so-called witnesses. They were wearing masks, and the court allowed them to wear masks. People we cannot see, faceless people in court. They said because of the high profile of the case, for the safety of the witnesses, that they should, go, masked, and they covered them. I think we'll get some of the pictures of those witnesses. They were looking like terrorists. The way all these Fulani people, these bandits look exactly. That was how they were looking. They covered their faces and with a mask. So that is the people that will listen to, that have something against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. People who are not confident enough, to stand. the zoo is just a corrupt country. The zoo is just a corrupt country. So what do you think? Do you think that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out as quickly as possible? Go to the comment section. Let us hear your own verdict on this matter. But meanwhile, let us go into more and more exposing details today.
Breaking news. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu goes global. Writes what powers as federal government of the zoo unleash massive media blackmail against his upcoming court appearance. Here are the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 24th of April 2025, and I have some video clip and information from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news, because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has mandated his lawyers to write what powers, asking them for unbiased investigation into the state-sponsored terrorism against the indigenous people of Biafra. According to the tweet by Barrister Aloyo Jimak, I'm going to read this very news from his official X account, and after that, I will show you some video clips. Remember the title that says, "As federal government of the zoo unleash massive media blackmail against his upcoming court appearance." Because it's in the public that the world has started speaking up against the incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, against his abduction in Kenya, his rendition to the zoo, and subsequent incarceration in a solitary confinement in the DSS dungeon in Abuja. So right now, without further ado, let us read in details before playing the video for you. According to Barrister Aloyo Jimak, he said, "Update on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. Today, April 23rd, which was of course yesterday, 2025, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu met with his legal team to address the Nigerian government's alleged attempts to manipulate public opinion ahead of his trial on April 29, 2025. To manipulate public opinion. Are you getting it? To manipulate public opinion. And this public opinion that they are trying to manipulate is not the zoo public, not Nigerian public opinion. No. But the international public opinion. That's why they are making videos here and there, trying to blackmail his court appearance, because the world has started speaking up against his abduction in Kenya, extraordinary rendition to the zoo, and his illegal incarceration in a solitary confinement in the DSS dungeon in Abuja. So they are using the videos which I will be playing for you moving forward after when I'm done reading from Barrister Aloyo Jimak to manipulate the international public opinion against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for them to continue to keep him in the custody. The same thing they are using our fellow Igbo people to do against Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland. Are you getting me? Are you paying attention? Because the days ahead is not clear as I'm speaking to you. Now, according to the barrister, he said, to address the Nigeria government's alleged attempts to manipulate public opinion ahead of his trial on April 29, 2025. April 29, which is few days from today. Onyendu MNK highlighted concerns over deliberate effort to falsely link the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB to fabricated raids in Imo and Anambra. You all understand the video that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself is talking about. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, there's a viral video that showcased where, a lot of skulls were dumped in a certain place, a place that is fenced.
a farmland fenced and gated. And if you watch that video, I don't want to play that video on this platform because it might go against YouTube rules. You see that video went viral, especially on X, formerly Twitter, where some group of armed DSS with some people from Osu Hitokwa, and Osumohu were parading themselves around that very compound, showcasing the scores, mentioning IPOB, mentioning Eastern Security Network, just to blackmail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Are you paying attention? There is nothing else, just to blackmail him, because we all know that, first of all, Eastern Security Network does not have any camp in Osu Hitokwa. No single camp of ESN in Osu Hitokwa. And it did not end there. ESN is no longer on existence. As I'm speaking to you, Eastern Security Network has ceased to exist long ago. Long ago. But that does not mean that the personnel of the Eastern Security Network have been wiped away. No. These members of Eastern Security Network were transformed into what we have today as Biafra Liberation Army. Igwe Butuzo was a member of Eastern Security Network. Yes, Commander Gentle was a member of the Eastern Security Network. But the moment Biafra people formed a government, you cannot operate a government with an ordinary security, vigilante group. No. They were converted into the Liberation Army, which is the right thing to do. And anybody still telling you about ESN, whether they are DOS or Nigeria Media or Nigeria DSS, Nigerian Army or whosoever, anybody who still mention ESN is strictly doing that to blackmail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because they know that ESN is no longer on existence. Everybody is aware of it. They all know, because all the members of ESN, they follow, especially the commanders, because when commanders stand, then their subordinate follows. They all know, all of them, all the commanders and their subordinates were all into Biafra Liberation Army. None of them is left behind, apart from those that resigned when they realized that DOS have sold them out. Yes, I am telling you the gospel truth. It's not tell us where is their camp. So in the Osun that we are talking about, there is no camp of ESN. We have Mother Valley, which the zoo is aware. I am not exposing anything. They know is in the public. And the Mother Valley belongs to the Biafra Liberation Army, not the Eastern Security Network. So when they say ESN, they are using it to blackmail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because they know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no hand in the formation of the Biafra Liberation Army. They know this. And Biafra Liberation Army is strictly for the defense of the Biafran people and Biafra land. Nothing else. Nothing more, nothing else. The only army that commit terrorism, aid and abet terrorism, is the Nigerian army, because they are the only one that disarm people and allow the Fulani herdsmen terrorists to move in and commit genocide. It's only the Nigerian army and police. Who else? Who else does it, if not these two organizations? The Biafra Liberation Army is the People's Army. Now, according to the lawyer, Barrister Ejimako, he continued. He said, describing these as state-sponsored tactics to deflect attention from global campaigns for his release. In response, Kanu has instructed his lawyers to formally engage the United States and the European Union to conduct an impartial investigation into the wave of state-sponsored insecurity in Southeast. We remain committed to truth and justice. Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So this is from Barrister Ejimako, and I hope the message is very, very clear to those who are listening. Now, I want to play for you some of the video. In fact, I just want to play one video for you to see what the zoo federal government is doing, using our own people just to blackmail one man. And these people they are using are fully aware that they are being used to blackmail their own savior. What an irony. What an irony. They are fully aware that they are being used to blackmail their savior, a man who has come to save them from the Fulani conquest of their motherland. They know, fully aware, but because of the money that has given to them by the state and federal government, they have found it very, very imperative, necessary to blackmail their own savior. It doesn't matter if they perish in the next couple of years. Hey, chai. Ogene Ndibani. Alumelo. Alumelo, my people. Now, this is one of the videos. I want you to take your time and watch this video. Pay attention, my people. I have something to say.
Saw that all the houses in the compound were burnt down. Only one place he managed to fix recently, because he decided, I saw the courage upon him. He said he's not leaving his community, and he didn't run out of the community. He has been here from the onset till this day. Like as I said before, this is his house, and the other one over there, including that of his cousins and brothers, relatives, all here. If you could remember, this house was in order as at how many years ago, sir?
7 years ago, it was okay.
As at 7 years ago. So you see that, take your view back to 7 years ago, you see that this house was one of the best as at 7 years ago. But situations and the security challenges in the land brought this upon them in the community. He has been there. And I've gone to various compounds to...
First of all, because I don't want to strictly analyze this, maybe I will have to make a live broadcast to analyze it, to debunk whatever nonsense they are saying here. 7 years ago, ESN was not yet formed. 7 years ago. So I don't know how they abandoned building 7 years ago just because of ESN they are talking about, when ESN was not yet formed 7 years ago. So I will have my time to analyze these things. I'm telling you, God willingly, I will have my time to analyze them. Let's continue.
Ask very few questions. And I did like him to tell you just 1 or 2 points on what happened. Good afternoon, sir. Please, can you tell us your name?
Okay, good afternoon. My name is John Kinsley.
Okay, John Kinsley.
My name is John Kinsley. Odisakwe. Ubuagu.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually,
are you from this community?
Of course, I'm from Mami Bebenata.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, how come your house were burnt? Just stand one place where the camera can get. What happened that your houses were burnt down? And I'd like to know.
Yeah, what happened is that the house was actually burnt by IPOP terrorists.
Did you hear him? That the house was actually burnt by the IPOP terrorists. And he said he's from where? He's from Osun. This is a known saboteur that has been used by the zoo government and the state government to sabotage the freedom of his own people. Facing the camera to call IPOB IPOP terrorists, which even he himself is involved. He's included as an indigenous person of Biafra, unless Mobundi Fulani Mutana Nibo. Unless Moso Nandi Fulani Mutana Nibo. Naswibo. You know? How do you say that? But this is not even the case. Let's continue.
Because of the activities they are inculcating in this community.
Okay.
So there was a friend, a brother of mine. I think the founder, the man who brought this rubbish also. You know, when he took the event took him time to, because at a point he was acting like a issue, like doing sort of things for youth, like kind of trying to become a leader.
Okay.
So in the long run, that thing turned to a different thing. I don't know how the emergency between here and the Carlo. So when they gave order 2021,
did you hear that? Did you hear him mention Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? When they gave order in 2021, let me take it back a little bit. Pay attention, please.
How the emergency between here and the Carlo. So when they gave order 2021,
this is my problem. And this is what the zoo federal government wanted him to say. And they captured it on camera. They posted it. He said that man and the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when they gave order in 2021, they started unaliving people. This is exactly what the zoo wanted him to say. I won't continue playing the video because of time, but when I have time for them to go live, I am packaging a lot of things. Pay attention, my people, as we move. Thank you. To Salo Numozia and make it